Hey guys, it's Julian here. Just wanted to thank everybody again for listening to the pod. Please leave a review, rate, like, and subscribe to the Current Era podcast. I have so many listeners already, and I really, really appreciate you guys. Today, I do have a special guest. I have my wife, Avielle. We are going to discuss everything 90s. So that includes TV shows, cartoons, movies, things like that. Some of the topics that or some of the shows, I should say, that we discuss include The Fresh Prince, Martin. Some of the cartoons include, Hey Arnold, all that, things like that. I know it's not a cartoon, but I said it anyway. So yeah, guys, take a listen. Let us know what you think.
Fresh out the box. Stop. Look and watch. Ready yet? Get set. It's all that.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Current Era podcast. I have such a special guest for you. Such a special guest. She's over here cheesing. I have my wife, Avielle. Hey, say hello.
Hey, babe.
Okay, you can't call me that. I am a very important person now. So you have to address me by my name and my name only. Okay.
Hello, Mr. Julian Vargas.
Thank you very much. Okay. So today, guys, we are going to have a talk about the 90s. Ooh. So obviously, I was born in 93. My wife was also born in 93. So we grew up in the 90s. We had a wealth of cartoons, TV shows, movies, things like that we loved. So are you ready to get into it?
Definitely.
All right. So let's start with some TV shows from the 90s. So when I think about 90s TV shows, I think about Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think about Boy Meets World. I think about Martin. What are some of your favorite TV shows from the 90s?
First of all, you took my show because you know you didn't watch Martin, so you can't just be saying you think of Martin.
Hold on, you gonna try to call me out like that?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna call you out because he be
Wow.
hating y'all. He think Fresh Prince is better. But
It is better.
Anywho.
Wow. No, tell me why you think Martin's better than Fresh Prince. I
Martin?
never understood
Okay.
this.
I'm not saying Fresh Prince was bad. I'm just saying
Right.
Martin was better. Like, it was funnier, and that's just what I watched growing up. Like, I watched Fresh Prince too, but Martin was always on repeat, literally. We had all the seasons on tape. Well, not on tape, on DVD, the little CD thing.
Wow. So wow, that's interesting. Interesting take. I mean, I guess I kind of grew up the exact opposite. I mean, I always watched The Fresh Prince growing up. I never watched Martin. Like, to this day, I couldn't tell you what happens in a single episode of Martin.
But did your mom watch Martin?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, so yeah, my parents only watched Martin also. So, like, and then my mom grew up in Flint, and it was in Detroit, so it kind of just worked out.
Boo. Whatever. Okay, what's some other TV shows that come to your head?
All right, Powerpuff Girls.
Just TV shows,
Oh,
not
I'm sorry.
cartoons. We're going to get to the
Sorry,
cartoons.
my bad. Okay. Drake and Josh.
That was not in the 90s. Fail. What the heck? That came out in like 06.
All right, that's straight two. One more time.
You
The
suck.
Cosby Show. That was 80s and 90s. They had episodes of the 90s.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, this is hard when you think of it like that. Even Steven.
I don't think that was in the 90s either.
Dang. All right, I need the list.
So clearly, you didn't watch any TV shows in the 90s because, wow. But, I mean, so for me, some of the shows that I think of were mostly on Nickelodeon that I watched in the 90s. So shows like Keenan and Kel, all that,
Oh, yeah.
Amanda Show. Those are like the shows that I remember watching. And the funny thing is, all that, it's a classic, okay, I'm not going to sing for y'all, but
All that.
okay, calm down. But I didn't know what SNL was at the time. Like, I didn't know what Saturday Night Live
Yeah.
was. So as I got older and I realized what Saturday Night Live was and the impact it has on, society, I realized that all that was just a kids SNL. And I didn't get that. Like, I
Exactly.
just thought that, it was just whole bunch of cool guys doing some cool sketches, you know.
Exactly, I know.
I didn't even really grasp what sketches was. I just saw them doing different characters and different situations, and it was so funny. So many talented people. I mean, it had Nick Cannon, Amanda, Josh, Drake, and Josh. It had Keenan and Kel. It had a whole bunch of people that were just so talented, and you know, as young stars that helped pave the way for a lot of what we see now. I mean, if you look at Nickelodeon now, as far as TV shows, they're, I don't know, the kid, it's just a whole bunch of kids shows. And I guess that's what it was for us back then. I mean, we were kids and we were watching it, so I don't know. But yeah, did you ever watch Keenan and Kel?
I did watch Keenan and Kel, but wait, to go back to your first question, I thought of two others I watched. Actual sitcoms in the 90s. The Jamie Foxx Show. Okay, and the Marlon Wayans brothers. What was that show they had? I thought it was so funny with their dad they called Pops.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the show right now. I didn't watch it.
But yes, I watched Keenan and Kel, definitely.
Did you watch, sticking with the Nickelodeon shows, did you watch The Amanda Show?
Yeah.
Amanda Show.
I thought those were hilarious. Like, those randoms. What was it, the tooth or was it the toe that they would go missing?
I don't remember. It was so long ago. I haven't seen the show since.
Yeah.
But I remember it being, like, in my staple of shows that I would watch. Because they all came around, like, around the same time. You know, as soon as you go from school, you know, you take your backpack off. You don't do no homework. You turn on Nickelodeon. And here it goes. We used to start with all that, and then it would go to Keenan and Kel. Then we go to the Amanda Show and stuff like that. And then we go to the cartoons. But we're gonna save that. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention two other super important TV shows in my life from the 90s. One being Boy Meets World. So I think Boy Meets World. Did you watch Boy Meets World?
I mean, I watched it.
Oh my goodness! I want a divorce.
Okay, listen. I know Topanga.
Fail. Okay, so Boy Meets World. For anyone that doesn't know, Boy Meets World is a story about a boy who grows up, and we see his journey from when he's like 8 or 9 years old until he's a grown man. Obviously, he encounters everything that has to do with life and the world. Most importantly, it's love. Throughout the series, he dates a girl. He falls in love with the girl. Obviously, that's Topanga, and they get married and happily ever after, blah, blah, blah. But the show had so much heart. The show had great actors, some actors who I still follow to this day. And I missed the show. They remade it for Disney Channel, I believe. What was it called? Girl Meets World, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and it was awful. But but that doesn't take away from the fact that Boy Meets World, I think it ran for like 5 seasons. That was just a all-time show in my opinion. And the other is Power Rangers. Hey, look, Power Rangers is lit.
Okay.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was lit.
Okay.
I don't care what nobody say. And then when they made the movie, boy, what? Where Ivan Ooze? Oh, what? Hey, that jump was lit. I had the VHS. It was white. That's when Tommy was the man, so everything was white because he was the White Ranger. Everything was cool because he was the White Ranger.
So, anywho, I watched that So Raven.
That was not in the 90s. I don't know if you get the theme of...
I'm going to just give up.
Yeah, maybe you should, because I don't know if you get the theme of what we're trying to accomplish here today. We're not going to disregard the shows that happened in the 2000s, but that's for a different podcast.
Give me more. I have to feed off of you.
Wow. Okay, so let's move on to some cartoons. Cartoons is obviously what we consumed most of in that day. You know, being a child, cartoons, they just drew to us easier. So what are some of your favorite 90s cartoons that you watched?
Ew. Okay, this kind of goes back to what I said earlier when you shut me down. When you said we're talking about TV shows, not cartoons. Again, Powerpuff Girls. Secondly, Courage the Cowardly Dog. My dad and I watch that every single weekend. And
Well, okay, so before you go forward, what about Powerpuff Girls did you like?
I think I like the fact that there were three sisters and they were totally different. And obviously they were little girls saving the world, but they were just funny. Like, it was three sisters doing sisterly things, but then again they had to save the world and they were like in kindergarten. It was just so funny.
Yeah,
Did you watch it?
Of course. Powerpuff Girls, I didn't discriminate. My sister Courtney, who obviously you know, but I'm saying that for the pod, she used to have these Powerpuff Girls blankets and sheets and pillowcases, and I'm not gonna lie, I used to steal them and sleep with them every now and then. Powerpuff Girls used to be lit, and then when they brought in the Rowdy Rough Boys, I was like, hey, what they finna box? It was lit. You know what's really crazy about that though? You remember that vampire character, the red guy, him or her, whatever his name was, him? I think it was him. Yeah. Whoa. So super. I mean, he's an odd character to place in a children's show. Of course, when you're watching it, you don't notice it as a kid, but looking back on it as an adult, I'm just like, how did I not notice that? I guess, but.
I mean, it kind of brings back to the innocence of children. Like, I never thought anything of it until, you get older and all these memes. It's like, oh, okay, I just thought it was his personality. Like, no big deal. Just like the lady, what's the lady? The mayor's assistant or whatever, how like, she had those huge boobs. I was just like, I never thought anything of it till I got older. And I was like, wow, were her boobs so big in a cartoon show?
See, I don't even know what you're talking about right now. So now I got to find Miss Bellum's boobs and look at them because I guess they were humongous.
Yes.
Okay. What about Courage? Why did you like Courage? All right, go ahead.
Wait, did you watch it?
Yeah, I saw almost every episode of Courage Cowardly Dog.
You were not entertained?
Not really. It's not a show that I would put on today and watch it again because I miss it. Okay.
I think I liked it so much, one, because I love thrillers. Like, I really enjoy scary movies, and I've always been this way growing up. And so the fact that it was a kid's thriller, it was just more interesting. It wasn't all about being funny. It was like just, entering this little family lived in a small random town. Don't remember the state. Let's say it was Kansas, because that's small and random to me, some town in Kansas. And they lived, like, in the middle of a farm. They didn't really have, like, an actual farm. It was, like, an old house. And they had this dog that was always saving them because the old people were just always oblivious to what was going on.
Right.
And he would, like, just always be out there trying to do stuff. And the husband hated the dog. So that was funny because he was always in the dog's way trying to save their life. And then there was always this random character saying, watch where you going, you fool. And so it was just funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Memories, huh?
For sure.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it was a bad show because it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't one of the shows that gripped me. Like, it wasn't. So, like, one of the shows that I have on my list is Ed, Edd, and Eddy. So, did you watch that show at all?
Yes.
Okay, so Ed, Edd, and Eddy was freaking hilarious. Like, that's one of the shows where I can watch it now and still laugh as if I was 10 years old. Mm-hmm. Because it's just so funny, and now it's even funnier because of all the Rolf memes that circulate through the internet. But I thought that show was actually a little underrated. I don't feel like it gets enough love for how good it actually was, because it was so funny. It was so well done, and I mean, even as kids, you can understand the comedy aspect of it. Like, you don't have to be an adult and understand like that type of mature content, but it was I really enjoyed the show. I mean, Eddie was always chasing paper. Double D was just some brainchild, and Big Dummy Ed, he was just one of my favorite memories about that show is when Ed got grounded, and he was like, he said something along the, I mean, Eddie and Double D, they were trying to leave. Like, they were in Ed's basement, and they were trying to leave, and the stairs were gone. And Eddie was like, what happened to the stairs? And Ed was like, man, I'm grounded. Like, they took the stairs. I was just like, wow. Yeah. Good times. Okay, so what about, did you watch any Nickelodeon cartoons?
Yes, but I'm afraid to say which was because you will shut me down again.
I mean, if they're in the 90s, then that's cool. Hey Arnold.
There we go.
Rugrats.
There we go. Okay, so I was about to say Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
That debuted in 2001, I believe.
Yeah, okay. So anywho, Hey Arnold. Wait, Cat Dog. I really enjoy Cat Dog. I thought that was just funny. I don't know why I liked it so much. Now looking back, it's kind of stupid and pointless. The cat was smart, the dog was dumb. That was kind of rude because it's not always the truth. Cats are just mean.
Did you know that the voice actor who voices Dog, his name is Tom Kenny, he voices SpongeBob as well, but he also voiced the mayor in Powerpuff Girls and the narrator in Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
The narrator and the mayor are totally different.
Yeah, he does like a whole bunch of voices for not only Nickelodeon but Cartoon Network as well. He's I mean, obviously now with SpongeBob, you know, he's set for life, but the guy is so talented. He's provided so many voices for, you know, our generation.
I thought the guy that voiced SpongeBob died.
That was the creator of the show, Steven Hillenburg. Yeah. So the creator of SpongeBob passed away, but the voice of SpongeBob, he's still alive.
Okay.
He's not even that old. He's like 55 maybe.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, I mean, but who would have thought? So SpongeBob came out in 99, so I guess we can go ahead and talk about it. But who would have thought that SpongeBob would still be on the air?
I know.
I mean, those early episodes, like, they were so good. But it's been 20 years.
I know.
Like, they still release new episodes, new movies, new merch. Like, it is, like, the powerhouse of Nickelodeon. Like, and I don't even know if it's close. I know Fairly Odd Parents has had a long run, but SpongeBob still beats it. So, wow.
I'm not sure why. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just the creative content, to be honest. Like, it's always funny. They're just goofy little characters.
Yeah. What's one of your favorite SpongeBob episodes?
Oh, man. A favorite SpongeBob episode?
Or what about one of your favorite SpongeBob memories?
There's a couple. There's so many. One that comes to my mind first is when Squidward went to go run some errands. Everything just kept going wrong. And so I finished the errands and I was Squidward. So, yeah.
Finish with those errands?
Right.
Finish with those errands? Errands?
Wait, and no, my top favorite is chocolate.
Yeah, that's a goat.
What's yours?
Goat moment. The one that immediately comes to my mind is Krusty Krab pizza.
Yes!
Is the pizza. But yeah. I mean, SpongeBob was like SpongeBob was, I don't know. I've thought about this for a while, and I don't really understand why it's so successful. I mean, it was good for our generation, but I mean, it's past our generation. It's gone to the next, and you know, kids younger than 5 and 6, like they know what SpongeBob is. Like they watch SpongeBob on a regular.
Right.
And I don't know. I just didn't see it having such a monumental run that it's had. Because I mean, most cartoon shows are season, 2 seasons, and that's it. You never hear from them again. But SpongeBob is like standing the test of time, man. It's crazy.
Do you remember, like, I didn't realize until obviously you get older, you see all these wonderful memes and whatnot. How those homes, the homes of the fish people, of the other fish, how they were the motors, and I guess they were like debris, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
Litter.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Very, very sad. So I say I care about this planet. People need to recycle.
Okay. We're not going to use my podcast to push your liberal agenda. No, let me stop. Oh, man. Okay. So some other cartoons that I watched a lot would be Dexter's Laboratory. Dexter, so still to this day, like when I was in middle school, and I'm slick ashamed to admit this, but when I was in middle school, no, it was high school, my freshman year of high school, this dude, he was an upperclassman at the time, and he walked up to me, didn't know me from Tom, and he was like, "What's up, Dexter?" Like, he straight called me Dexter.
It's so rude.
Yeah, it is rude. But I thought it was hilarious.
You always see the humor in things.
I mean, I thought it was funny because he was like, "What's up, Dex?" I'm just like, I didn't know who he was talking to. I had to look. I'm just like, "Who? My name's Julian." But yeah, I guess because I wear glasses, I was Dexter. Good times.
Forget that man. That's my PG way of saying it.
Yeah, it's not that serious. But yeah. Anyway, so Dexter was really good show as well. One of my favorite moments from that series is the when they teamed up and made the Megazord. When Mandark was trying to take over the world.
Oh yeah.
And they was playing that "Go Dexter's Family Go." Da, 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 da. Yeah, that was lit. My favorite Dexter moment. And then I remember they had the one where he went through time and he went to the future because Mandark had enslaved the world or something like that. And you met, there was like 5 different Dexters, like one skinny, useless one. There was one buff one. I just thought that was pretty cool. Did you watch Dexter's Laboratory at all?
I did. It's funny though, just because I'm more so, obviously I know the characters, but I just remember like just various scenes of Dee Dee getting on his nerves and him yelling at her. But I don't remember like specific episodes other than the one that you just told me about that I somehow missed. But when they ran out of coffee on that episode, I thought that was so funny. Like I could watch that one over and over again.
Yeah, and I found out about that episode because it went over my head as a kid.
Right.
My mom, I guess she was, I don't know, looking over my shoulder watching the episode and she was cracking up. My mom was dead. And like, I didn't get it. Like, I didn't get it. I didn't get that until I was, I don't know, until I was maybe in college or so. But I remember my mom telling me, people get crazy when they don't have their coffee. And you see the episode in Dexter's Lab where his mom and his dad, Dexter and Dee Dee done drunk out of coffee, so they going crazy. And I guess it hit a nerve in my mom because she was dead. She was like, "This is great." I ain't get it, but apparently it's like an iconic moment in the series now. So yeah, but let's move on a little bit. So talking about the 90s. For me, and I know a lot of other, I guess, young men, we were interested in technology. So some of the technology we had in the 90s, brace yourself, this is a long time ago now. We had CD players. You remember those?
Duh, Walkmans and whatnot.
I think Walkmans were a little bit, those were phased out by the time we
Isn't
started
it the same
getting.
thing?
No,
You call it a Walkman?
Walkman's a tape player.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know
CD
what?
CD players just for CDs specifically.
Well, yes, I said Walkman because you walk with the CD player, so I assume it's the same thing, but I understand what you're saying now.
Maybe it is. Somebody fact check me on that, but it's not. But yeah, we had CD players, and we used to be burning CDs on LimeWire and destroying our computers. But you know what I'm saying, we had to get them MP3s.
I remember somebody brought me a CD, Chris Brown's new album to high school one time, and I was like, "You are the plug. Like, don't sue me."
Wow. Some in the 90s, we had the arrival of the Nintendo 64, which, in my humble opinion, is the second best console of all time. As far as, and I'm basing that on the amount of fun I had on the console, playing the console. So the first one is the Xbox 360, and that's another story for another podcast. But the Nintendo 64 for me, at that time, there was no high definition graphics. There was barely 3D graphics. There was barely multiplayer. There was certainly no first person shooting, which is so popular now with Call of Duty, Halo, and Call of Duty. But so in the 90s, when they released the Nintendo 64, one of the first games that they launched with it was Super Mario 64. And me and Javar, we grew up playing that game. We put in so many hours in that game. It was so fun. But a lot of the other games that we got later, like they revolutionized the gaming industry. So like the biggest one probably is GoldenEye 007. That was like one of the first best first person shooter games ever. Like complete with button controls and layouts and maps and multiplayer. Back then you had to play 4-player split screen multiplayer. We would have all our friends over. We'd be playing 4-player split screen, we'd be going after each other. I mean, we used to be battling. It was so fun. We did it with that game. We used to play 4-player on Pokemon Stadium, Mario Kart 64. It was just so many fun games, and like that time, and because I think one of the main reasons why it was so fun was because it was so interactive and cooperative. Because I mean now, I mean sure you can put people online, but it's not the same as getting, you know, 3 friends and being all in the same room and talking smack together,
Right.
and you know, being able to play those games and with no lag, no net, just to see who's the best. But yeah, that's okay. Um, yeah, Nintendo 64, just great. Did you guys have a 64 growing up
Was Super Mario the only game on it?
on the Nintendo 64?
But it was the controller like that one like this with the 3.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like we had it. I don't know who in my family had it. Somebody had it, but it wasn't us, not in my household.
What type of video games did you guys have?
My dad bought me the PlayStation, the first one.
The very first PlayStation?
when it came out.
Oh yeah, okay.
And he bought me the PS2,
Okay.
and he bought me the PSP.
Dang. So y'all just some PlayStation whores over here.
And then my cousin, when we lived with him, he had the Xbox and the Xbox 360.
Oh dang. So he had all the good games, huh?
He did, but yeah, they like to play football and stuff, and I wasn't good at that. That was annoying.
You wasn't playing football.
No.
You was trying to play Madden.
Right.
Dang.
I like the fighting games. You just keep jamming them buttons. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just
Ooh,
playing.
no,
You
you're
do the
not.
combos. You do
Nope.
the combos.
No,
I'm
no.
just playing.
You trash, bro. You trash. Wow. Oh, okay. So the PlayStation 2 came out in 2000.
Okay, so cool.
That don't
That
even
counts.
count. No, it doesn't.
All right.
It's not the
Well, the
90s.
PlayStation. What was the game that I played on that?
Sammy Sosa 2000. No, I'm
I
just
played Tekken.
Tekken what? 1,
I
2,
don't know
or
which
3?
one.
Oh, okay. Tekken 3 was just like beastly on
That's the one I
PlayStation.
had.
Oh, okay.
But no, I like Tekken. My dad bought me a lot of fighting games. I didn't know how to play other stuff. I didn't like shooting games.
Well, they weren't any good on the PlayStation anyway, so you weren't missing
good.
nothing.
But that's probably why I didn't like them.
Yeah, they were all trash. The 64, like it revolutionized shooting games. Like it had GoldenEye, it had Perfect Dark. It even had that Star Wars game and Star Fox, and it had a lot of great games. I mean, I didn't even mention it's not a shooting game, but it's widely respected as probably the greatest game of all time. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and it's one of the things I talk with Javar about a lot, that, you know, one of the detracting factors about growing up in the 90s is that I didn't have an adult mind to play some of the great games that I missed out on. So like I never beat Ocarina of Time. Like I never went back and played it because now I'm used to 4K graphics and, you know, like a game engine that can support it. And it's hard to go back and play a Nintendo 64. Like it's so ugly, and I guess I'm a snob. And yeah, that sucks. But
I also like Spyro.
yeah, it was a classic for the first PlayStation.
Yeah, I was thinking. I think I like those games, like you said, just like Legend of Zelda. I like when you're able to what's it called? Free walk or whatever. What do you call it? You have a name for it.
What is it?
When you just free roam and you can walk around the planet or the Earth. Bro, I'm done. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, let's go with that. You were so funny. Okay, let's get off of video games. I'm sorry. I wanted to bring it up because we were talking about the 90s.
Okay,
but
Soul Calibur, then I'm done.
I don't think they came out in the 90s.
Okay,
But
try.
you're not in your game today, man. What's going on? What was that?
No comment.
Wow. So some other things that came out in the 90s. We'll move on to some movies, but I think like the first movie I remember seeing, I mean aside from the Power Rangers movie, was The Matrix. Like The Matrix was like the first movie that I remember like going to the theater to see. I remember buying the DVD. And I mean, obviously, you know, I had to make you sit down and watch it because you know you had never seen it, but Matrix is one of those movies that's another one that's looked at as one of the best movies of its time. I mean, when it came out, there were people there wasn't anybody doing the kind of effects that were done in that movie. And I mean, Keanu, it helped launch Keanu Reeves' career, helped revitalize Lawrence Fishburne's career, and yeah, it was such a great film. What do you think of The Matrix when I finally made you sit down and watch it?
I thought it was good. At first, of course, I didn't want to watch it. I don't watch no old movie. But no, they did really good. Of course, like you said, it was based in the 90s or whatnot. So the graphics was like, they was doing those flips and the fighting scenes. It was like, all right. But, but no, it was really neat. The concept, the storyline, that was the plot. It was definitely something I was not expecting. So that's always nice. I like a little surprise.
Yeah, The Matrix, whatever the sequels, became, I can't speak on those, but the very first Matrix was like really good. And some of the other movies that came out in the 90s that, you watch over and over and over are those Disney movies. There were so many Disney movies that came out in the 90s that, I think they actually, there's like a name for it, like the Disney Renaissance or something like that, where you have movies just back to back to back, year after year after year, coming out and just being fantastic. So what are some of your favorite Disney movies?
Disney movies, and I have one more game that I thought of that isn't in the 90s. Let me get back to that. Anywho, Disney movies. I'm not good at the time frame of like when the movie came out.
Okay, so in the 90s, there was Beauty and the Beast.
Oh yeah.
There was Aladdin.
Oh, okay.
Lion
I can do
King,
this.
Pocahontas, Hunchback, Hercules, Mulan, and Tarzan.
Okay, that's a good start. Thank you. I really enjoyed, dang it, the one you just said, Pocahontas. I thought Pocahontas was adorable. That was a great movie until we learned about her in school. Then it wasn't such a great movie. However, the cartoon itself was really wonderful.
What happened in school?
When they tell us the real story of Pocahontas, that she was like a young girl between like 12 and 14, and John Smith.
I must have fell asleep that day.
Yeah, so.
Well, okay, what happened?
Hey, what if I'm wrong with some parts? All right, so basically, the colonizers came over, and
Colonizers?
That's what they were. They came over. Anyway, okay. And so they came over and went to the Indians, and the colonizers tried to come to an agreement. Somehow John Smith got involved with the child, Pocahontas, and ended up marrying her. And it wasn't as peaceful as, hey, let's work and live amongst each other peacefully. It's more so like, hey, I'm staying here, and you're going to help me survive. Or else. dot.
Okay.
So yes, Pocahontas was nice. And
yeah, I'm glad I skipped that one.
yes, Beauty and the Beast. I thought that was adorable. So I finally watched the remake the last week, was it? Or 2 weeks ago?
Something like that, yeah.
It was really neat to see Emma Watson in there doing her thing. She did awesome. Shout out. And yeah.
Hermione, yes. Bay.
Do year 2. Or do a couple of years.
I mean, obviously for me, the ones that stick out are Aladdin, Lion King, Hercules, Mulan, and Tarzan. So, I mean, I don't know if this is braggadocious or not. I'm sure a lot of people can do what I'm about to say, but I can recite every single one of those movies line for line, word for word, including the songs.
No, I cannot, but he can.
That's not a joke. This isn't a game. Like, I do this. Out of those, Aladdin is probably my favorite, with Lion King coming in as a close second. For me, Aladdin is just such a magical story, and it has great songs. But I liked, and Robin Williams was great in it, but I liked Jafar. I thought he was like a real good bad guy. He was like believable. And, when he wished to be a genie at the end, I was just like, dang, bro, he got you. He finessed you. And, yeah, I was sad he lost. I was like, dang, he lost. But, I knew it could only go, one way. But, yeah. And, of course, A Whole New World. That's my song. So, did you see Aladdin?
I did see it, but I feel like I must have only seen it one time.
Oh my
Because I swear,
goodness.
when you start talking about it, I'm just like, Dang, I don't remember that.
How are we together?
Listen, I'm gonna need to rewatch it before they come out with Will Smith's Aladdin. So
Yeah,
I
you
know what's
do.
going on.
What about The Lion King?
Lion King was amazing. The songs were amazing. Everything about it was really good.
Are you excited for the reboot that's coming out?
I am. I think it's gonna be really neat. Even seeing like that super short trailer, I thought it was really cool how they were able to redo the graphics and things like that.
Yeah, a lot of people think that the reboot, not a reboot, the remake is gonna be like a shot-for-shot remake, and Jon Favreau and the other creators of the movie have said multiple times that it's not going to be a shot-for-shot remake of the original movie. So let's clear your expectations, guys, because the meme that went around after the trailer was, when somebody was singing "I Can't Wait to Be King," and they were doing a little pyramid thing to lift him up.
That was
like,
crazy.
Yeah, they're like, how are they gonna recreate that? And they're not. They're not, guys. It's not a shot for shot remake. So let's just relax here.
I hope Mufasa dies a little bit nicer too, because I can't go through those
What?
tears again. Listen,
No, it better be.
trampled.
I don't care. It better be sad.
No.
I better be blubbering, crying, or else I'm walking out the theater.
I don't want it.
What do you mean?
I don't want
That's a
it. It
huge
needs to
part
be
of the
a
movie.
peaceful death.
No.
Oh, hold on. Speaking of deaths, Bambi.
I'm
He has
not
never
watching
seen
that.
Bambi,
I'm
y'all.
not watching
He
that.
refuses. You need to watch it. Everybody
not-
has to endure this pain.
No, I'm not
All
watching
this
it.
pain we had to go through as children.
Hey, that's
Can
your
you
fault.
imagine?
You shouldn't have turned
All
it on.
these movies.
See?
My mother turned these movies on.
Look, whatever. That's your fault. Better mind your business. I'm never watching that.
It was a cute movie.
Seeing Mufasa die was enough.
Yeah.
And then Hercules is so awesome. I mean, I don't know. What can I say? I mean, first of all, I'm already extremely into Greek mythology, but yeah, the story is really, really great. I love the songs and the action. At the end, when he became a hero, and or a god, and he stepped out of the what's it called? Tartarus, the pits of Tartarus, and the river Styx, and he punched Hades. Hades is funny. What's the actor that played Hades?
I was just about to ask you that, so he did a good job. I know he's popular.
I can't remember his name right now, but he James Woods. Yeah, James Woods. He does a lot for Family Guy now. But yeah, James Woods, he killed that role of Hades. Like he really, really brought a lot of color and character to that role. It was awesome. What about Mulan? What about how did you like Mulan? Being a woman, how did you like the movie?
Don't forget Tarzan. But I like Mulan. I'm trying to think like when I first saw it. Okay, so when I was growing up, I guess I'm a little bit different. I never more so put so much emphasis on, oh, it's a male character or it's a female character.
Really?
I didn't. I just thought, oh, that's great. This character is getting to do that. Mm-hmm. And so, but don't get me wrong. I didn't know it was like, the way they were treating her in the beginning. It was like, no, you need to be getting pretty, getting your hair done. You need to find you a man and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I loved how I like rebels. So I love how she broke out and she ran and then she, fought for her so that her father would have to go off to the war. And that's what really made me happy. And then how she was able to go through and not get caught. When they were in that, what was it, that hot spring? I just knew they were going to see her. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, what'd you think? I know you love Mulan.
Yeah, Mulan holds like I don't know, holds like a special place in my heart because, I mean, obviously I'm a male, but I grew up with a little sister, my mother, my aunt, my grandmother, so I my brother, but I grew up with a lot of women, and I don't know, it meant a lot that it was a female lead, but it meant even more that they actually did it justice. And what I mean by that is, in Chinese culture, like that's real. Like, you're expected to be barefoot and pregnant. Like that's like your only use, especially in those times. So, to see her not only not want that, but want something more, because she knows that it doesn't matter if she's a man or a woman. She can be more. And it's funny because like the best song in the movie, in my opinion, is I'll Make a Man Out of You. And, you know, obviously the song is about being tough and being ready to go to war because only men can go to war. And, you know, she was out there outdoing them, and she got to the top of the flagpole and all that. But yeah, it was cool, man. It's a really good movie. It's like a feel-good movie. I remember in like 6th or 7th grade, they made us watch it in history class or something
What?
like that. Yeah, like they made us watch it. And the teacher was getting mad because I knew all the words and because I was singing the songs. I was like, "What you want me to do, bro? Like, what you want me to do? Okay,
Not sing.
I'm a fan. No, I can't."
Oh gosh, we need to have like a whole Disney weekend. It sounds like.
And then the last one on the list is Tarzan.
Yes.
So Tarzan,
What?
I cry too much when I watch Tarzan, man. It's so sad.
Okay, yeah, the beginning. That's what I'm saying. We went through all these sad moments. I just feel like this is not right. But yeah, the beginning. Once you get through that, then you're okay. Then.
I don't think so because
What else made you cry?
when Kerchak died, that time was so
Forgot
sad,
about
bro.
that.
Like, old boy Clayton was like, "Man, you a big old girl. I'm finna shoot you." Boom, boom. Kerchak.
Totally forgot about that scene. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still pains me to this day. And then Kerchak turned over and he was breathing all hard. He was like, "Son," he called Tarzan son. I was like, "Ah,
Yeah.
my heart." And then old boy hung himself. But yeah, that time was sad.
Yeah, I was surprised. You know what? Dang, they did show a lot. But at least Tarzan stayed on the island. I was worried that he was just going to up and leave and go with Jane. I'm just like, dang, he's going to leave his family. He'd lead her at the back.
He tried.
But he didn't.
I mean, he would have if they wouldn't have tried to capture him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was gone.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, it was Tarzan was it's I don't know. I got to be in a certain kind of mood to watch it because or I'm just going to have to skip certain parts because I don't know. I don't like seeing the part like especially the beginning. Like I'm just like, come on, man. I don't got time for this.
Right.
That joke is so sad. That joke is like it's too sad. But okay, we have what?
Okay, wait. I wanted to say what I wanted to say. The 90s game that I forgot about was Grand Theft Auto. That was in the 90s, right?
What? Are you kidding?
Right.
You're not kidding.
Well, listen, I just want to talk about Grand Theft Auto. How about that? That's my reason.
Wait, which Grand Theft Auto are you talking about?
San Andreas and the first one.
You think-
Both of them. Alright, it wasn't 90s. Fine.
Okay.
But I was a child.
Okay, sure.
I just want to say, like, I'm wondering, did anybody else, like, did their parents make them play the game on mute? Like, were my parents the only ones?
Yeah, your parents were the only ones, bro. Nobody did that.
That was the agreement. They bought us this $60 game that was super inappropriate. We had to play it on mute. And, of course, don't go in, like, the strip rooms or whatever. The strip clubs.
Wow. That's hilarious. No, my mother was not like that. So
Your mom didn't even know what you was playing. She was like, yeah, all right, you got it.
yeah, she did. You know what's really funny about that? And I guess we didn't even talk about it, but so Friday.
I was wondering.
Friday is like it's like a staple in the black community of as far as like movies are concerned. But when Next Friday came out, I guess my mom, she didn't care to see it, but she bought the VHS for us. So we were watching it one day, and it was at the part in the store where Pinky walked into the store. He was like, "Get your hands up!" He was N-word this, N-word that. And my mom just happened to walk by. She was like, "What are y'all watching? Turn that off." I was just like, "Mom, wow, I'm 10, okay?"
I'm grown.
Right, I'm grown. Good times.
Yeah, it's funny how they let us watch Friday, like, on repeat. But
Right.
it's like, do you know what we're watching?
Did they though?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my mom never. If she ever caught me watching something I quote unquote wasn't supposed to, it's because she just happened to be walking by.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. My mom never really cared if I was watching something quote unquote inappropriate. I mean, because she knew that I knew where the line was. As long as I didn't go past the line, it was fine.
To be fair, not only that, it's not like it was a family night movie. It's like, all right, guys, it's Friday night. Let's
Right.
put a movie on Friday. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's something your kids are just watching when you're not around.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
it's on.
Yeah, it's one of those movies like close the door, go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So before we get out of here, I do have a challenge for you.
Ew.
I have 10 theme songs from 90s cartoons. They're all cartoons from the 90s.
Okay.
Your job is to guess what they are correctly. You'll get 15 seconds. If you get it, Bravo. If you don't, you have 0 bragging rights. Okay.
So there's no money with this challenge.
No.
Okay. That's
What kind of what? What you mean?
Listen.
What you want money for? We live together.
It's all right.
Wow.
I still take money.
This is
all
for
donations.
pure entertainment and bragging right value.
I appreciate that as well.
Great. All right. So I'm going to start off.
Wait, I have an idea. If I win this challenge, you gotta taste my chili. He doesn't eat my chili, y'all.
Wow.
Agreed?
I mean, I can just sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I'm just going to cut that part out, by the way.
No, you're not. I'm gonna put this chili in your mouth and you sleep.
Whoa. Okay.
Let's start.
All right. First song.
Oh, hey Arnold.
What?
Hey Arnold.
Are you sure?
Duh!
Okay. You got me. All right. What about this?
1, 2, 3, go!
Oh my gosh, Johnny Bravo. How do we not talk about him? That cartoon was amazing.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yes.
Good old Johnny
Literally.
Bravo. All right. What about this one?
Oh, Papa's Girls.
Ooh, that was quick. Okay. Look at you knowing some stuff. Okay. What about this one?
Oh, Dexter. I was like, what the heck? Why is he coming to me? Dexter's Laboratory.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta say the whole
Laboratory.
name or it don't count now. Okay. What about this one?
Oh, I don't know the name of it, but it was all the kids, bro, that went to that school. Oh, what's the name of it? I know this cartoon.
That was 15 seconds.
I watch this cartoon every day. It sucks, guys. I should have been ready for this podcast. Oh, man, I watch this thing all the time. Don't tell me. We'll just come back to it.
No, you get it or you don't.
What's it start with?
Starts
letter.
with figure it out.
One letter.
Starts with a R.
You lying?
No,
It has kids in it.
it does.
That's what I thought. Is it the name of the school?
No.
Recess Kids.
Oh, it's just recess, but yeah,
Recess. You
Wow.
lied. You said kids is in it.
they are in it. Kids.
I bet it's kids in the name.
Oh, I was about to say, what are you talking
Recess.
about? Like, it's all about kids, actually.
Recess.
Wow. All right. What about this one?
Oh, Ed and Eddie.
Ooh. Surprise. I know
That's a
who's
good
gonna
song.
get that one. Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Oh my gosh, the little boy. Did he hit that dog? Oh man, Doug.
Wow. I just knew you were gonna struggle with that one. Okay. Here we go. 3 more. You're killing it.
All right, cool. These are surfer kids.
Huh?
The surfing kids.
Oh,
Oh,
you tell me.
skateboarding kids.
You tell me. That was 15
These are
seconds.
just saying.
That was 15 seconds,
Rocket
cuz.
Power.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I would say what? Ooh-wee.
They surf too.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just couldn't give you the answer because if I would have
Okay.
said, yeah, they're the surfing kids, you would know it. So the point is to challenge your mind. All right. 2 more.
Abandoned as a pup, he was found by Muriel,
Kurt,
who
let me
lives in the
know.
middle
Come
of
on now.
nowhere.
Don't play me.
So when I was researching this, and I heard that he was abandoned as a pup, that completely went over my head as a kid. Like I just heard that and it crushed
Yeah.
my heart. I'm just like, holy crap! And like they even got him looking all sickly in
Yeah.
the video.
This, like, when we got Lila, our dog, we rescued her. She literally showed up on Julian's mom's doorstep. I thought of courage instantly, like, and I feel
Wow.
like Lila be saving us when we go on our walks, so she be barking. Yes.
Maybe she does. Wow. But yeah, that was just kind of, I don't know, kind of hurt my heart. Like, dang,
That's what Miriam loved him. Like, it was her baby.
Muriel.
Muriel. That's what I said.
No, you didn't. All right, last one.
Okay. Rugrats.
Very good. 10 out of 10.
I
Wow.
won. This is fun. We should do that again one day. I thought of so many more after you start playing music. Like, oh, now I'm thinking of 90s cartoons. Like Miss Fizzle.
That was
Magic School Bus.
Yeah, Magic School Bus.
Out of the Box.
Arthur,
right. Like, now, like, it's coming to me near the end.
Yeah, right. In the end, we're actually done now. So, very good. Maybe another time. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Please remember to rate, like, and subscribe to the Current Era podcast on Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify. Thanks again. Bye. Bye.
Here it goes. Everybody out there, go run and tell your homeboys and homegirls it's time for Keenan and Kel to keep you laughing in the afternoon. So don't touch that dial, don't leave the room, cause they always into something, no frontin', and you don't wanna miss it. It's double K like do the good way. Yes, Keenan and Kel, I should've said Kel and Keenan, and you gotta watch Keenan, cause Keenan be scheming with a plan or a plot to make it to the top, but they kinda in the middle, cause they always getting caught. This ain't the Hardy Boys or a Nancy Drew mystery. It's just Keenan and Kel in your vicinity, like Siegfried and Roy, or Abbott and Costello, Magic and Kareem, or Penn and Teller. Somebody's in trouble.